What's up, y'all? I'm gonna be giving you guys a little peek into another one of my boxes full of vintage. I think mostly vintage stuff. This particular box is stuff that are not necessarily sealed. I don't know. Well, there might be a couple things in here sealed, but stuff that's still boxed. I imagine not many more of these are sealed though, but it's basically boxed stuff, mostly vintage from my childhood. I don't actually just to clarify something in case you don't know me by now. After all these years, for those of you who've been watching that long, I don't collect vintage. I don't buy vintage. Anything that I have that's vintage is actually from my childhood. So I'll usually refer to it as something from my childhood collection. Anyway, so this is a few stuff that I still saved. Another thing, if you don't know, years ago, I got rid of a good majority of my vintage collections. I'm talking Star Wars, Transformers, G.I. Joe, He-Man, Thundercats, Silverhawks, everything I grew up on, and had quite a bit of Ninja Turtles. You name it. There's really almost anything from like the 80s, 90s, some stuff from the 70s, even some stuff from the 60s. Obviously, not that I grew up on, but that was stuff that my dad had gotten for me or saved. Anyway, got rid of most of that stuff, and this is some of what I how do you say? I guess what some of what's all no, okay, that's sounding weird. Some of what's left, I guess, for lack of a better term. Some of what I actually still wanted to keep. So anyway, let's jump right into these. And I'm gonna try to zoom through this and keep this under 10 minutes. This is something I really loved as a kid. I think I mentioned in another video not too long ago when I was showing the box of vintage like vehicles, RCs, motorized cars and stuff. This used to be in that box, but that box for the most part, or those boxes for the most part, are stuff that I had planned to let go of, and this was always going to be a keeper. Let's see, there it is. I imagine it's still in really, really good condition as well. So there's that. This was always something really cool to me. It's a radio control in full function, not one of those forward and turns in reverse kind of deals. Low, not high power. I don't recall. I'll have to throw in some batteries and see if it still works. And what's cool is I think this is about 1/18 scale. That's really cool. Look at that. This was a promo. I don't remember the details, but like when Legoland California was opening up, this is one of the promo things available at the time. Never actually opened and built mine. It's pretty cool to still have this sealed. Not all these things are toys. Some fast food stuff here. These were cups from, are these McDonald's? Batman Returns. Yeah, McDonald's. I don't know if this is a full set. Catwoman right there, though. Michelle Pfeiffer. Did I say Piper? Pfeiffer. Still one of my all-time favorites. Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman. These as well. This is my original Darth Vader figure case. No figures in there, I don't think. But my dad had put some reflective tape on here and my name. He had one of these each for my brother and I, and so we both had our names on them. Let's see what else is in here. So this is probably one of aside from the Lego set, this is probably one of the newest items. Like the Lego set, that was from, what year was that? I forget what year Legoland California opened up. 99, I think. But let's see, is there a date on there? 98 is the date on the set. And this is from, what year did episode 1 come out? Was that 98? 98. I think that's the year the movie came out. So yeah, and then the rest of these and everything else I showed is like 80s, late 80s, mid to late 80s, and I think the rest of this stuff is gonna be, all like 80s as well. Laser tag. I'm not 100% sure. I might have to crack these open, see if they're still. It doesn't have all this stuff if you're not familiar with the original laser tag, but these game kits, it came with the gun, the Starlight, as it was called, and the star sensor. Pretty cool to still have these with boxes. I did also have the star cap, but I don't know what happened to that because that didn't survive like my collections moving around and stuff. Star Wars micro collection sets with the boxes. That's pretty cool. A couple of those. This one with primer meal tape. Assuming my dad did that. Pretty cool though. Mr. T. I still got this Mr. T. I'm surprised. I thought I'd let go of that already. That's pretty cool. 12-inch Mr. T. These rocks and bugs and things. I'm not gonna pull those out. I don't know if anybody. You'd really have to be a child from the 80s to remember those Robotech, the Matchbox 3 3/4 Robotech, and this one, the tactical battle pod. Love that. I used to have a Veritech fighter. I don't know what happened to that because I don't think that survived my collections moving around as well. So Batman skydiving, parachutist. Is there no? I don't know what year this is from. Oh wait, 1977. Year I was born. Pretty cool. And then last but not least. So here's the thing. Like I said, I'd gotten rid of almost all my vintage toy, childhood toy collections. And I had a lot, including a bunch of boxed Transformers. I had a bunch of loose ones, but I also had, including a still minty, fresh Jetfire. I mean, that thing was white as fuck, like almost not played with at all. Sadly, when I sold it years ago, it wasn't going for as much as I could have gotten now. That's really my only regret. I don't really regret letting go. It was just that I could have got more now. But when I told my girlfriend at the time, years ago, that I was getting rid of them, she's like, "That one though, that Optimus, you keep that. I want that for my wedding present." Which she was just being clever. She really was just making me save it for myself. She knew I would easily let go of it to get money for us, to help us and stuff like that. But she knew that this was just something that I should save for myself. So, still got it. Pretty cool. So there you guys have it. There's some more stuff. So I hope you guys are enjoying these kinds of videos. I've still got some more stuff to show you guys. So as always, hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks so much for watching.